The following is paid programming.
It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Hey everybody, this is the Tax Lady, and we got lots of stuff to tell you today. And we're so excited because we want to make sure that you know what's going on with your money. Now, if you don't do anything with it, it's up to you, but we're going to help you to learn what's available. And I have, of course, in studio with me, Tiffany Fabian. Hey, Tiff.
Hey, happy Saturday, Esther.
Happy Saturday. Happy hot
Mom.
Saturday, right?
Yeah.
And Christopher Fabian. Hi, Chris.
Hello, Esther.
Hey, how'd you do with your golf game today?
We did pretty good. We got really, really hot, and I don't mean good at the end. The sweat was pouring off of our faces. Ugh, very hot.
I mean, you know, on a day like
but
today,
I'm not complaining.
What you say to yourself is, how can it ever turn winter? I mean, isn't it remarkable? Like, you're so hot, it's so beautiful, it's so sunny, everybody's in their shorts, and you think, how can it ever turn into winter?
That's a really
But it never fails. It somehow does. Okay, what we want to talk about is our tax schools coming up right in October.
Yep.
And if you want to know about taxes, we will teach you. We have a wonderful school that goes from A to Z, and you can register online, right?
Yep, that's
at
right.
At egtax.com.
Yep, it meets twice a week in the mornings or evenings. It's free of charge. You just have to purchase the book. And the idea is we hope that you come work for us. And one of my favorite teachers is my daughter, Gracie. And so come join the class and you'll learn a lot. You'll hit at every party.
Even if you don't work for us, it will make you so smart, and you will say, I had no idea that that's how the tax structure works. You will be blown away.
Yep,
You know.
that's true.
And then the other thing is we have our Big Beautiful Bill seminar. So, you know, there are things going on with the Big Beautiful Bill that are for 2025. What year are we in?
2025.
Huh? You mean it's right now? Things that we can do to save taxes if we do it right now?
Yeah,
Right.
it's-
And so we're having a seminar, free seminar. You can register online. Just go to egtax.com. You know, you
Big,
can be
beautiful
smarter
bill.
than the average bear, right?
Yeah, it's so funny. Nobody's really talking about it. I think about it when I go. We were in Chicago last weekend, and at restaurants, you leave a big tip. I mean, 2 drinks cost $60, $70, and so I was thinking. I mean, that's just 2 drinks. Can you imagine if you buy a meal? And so tips are just the fact that it's going to be tax-free, a big chunk of it. So
I mean, people aren't even aware of it. So here you're at giving 20% tip to somebody that's not going to pay taxes on it. You know, it's got to give you pause. But if you don't know, you don't know.
that's right.
Right?
Okay, so something that we just kind of uncovered this week is that the unemployment benefits for employees, the maximum rate is going from $504 to $869 a week. That's over $300 increase starting October 2025.
That is humongous.
That's like a 65-70% increase. That's
Right.
crazy.
This is the first increase since 2019. And so if you're on unemployment, you have, I mean, it's
on.
an extra $300 and some a week.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That's over $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
So then of course I'm an employer, and I wanted to find out how much it's going to cost me.
Pass on to you guys.
And it's interesting because the base is, but right now the unemployment rate that an employer pays is 9.9%. So that's going to go up, but the base is only going up from 12,800 to 13,000. And then from 2027 onward, they're going to index the base rate at 16% of New York's average annual wage. So that's how it goes. But I will tell you, if you are somebody that's on unemployment, you should look for a gigantic increase. The maximum is $869 a week starting October 2025.
Yeah, and in the state of the economy, we went out to dinner with some friends, and we were talking to one of our friends, and her son has been trying to find a job, and so is another person in the party. And they said, this is what they said, that the market is sort of bleak, and with this is what he said, all the layoffs that people are doing and the Doge cuts, because I think he used to work for the military, so he's looking for government jobs, is that it's been hard to find a job. And so this is good news for those people who are looking for a job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You figure that's like $3,300 a month.
Yeah.
That's almost a livable wage.
That's right. That's
All right,
right.
so that's number one. Number two is Josh Hawley this week. He's a Republican from Missouri, has sponsored the American Worker Rebate Act. And so they're looking at giving, like the stimulus checks, $600 per person, up to $2,400 for a family of four. So it hasn't happened yet. It caps at $75,000 if you're single, $112,500 head of the household, $150,000 married filing joint, with a 5% threshold reduction as you move forward. So just to keep you abreast of that, I don't know what's going to happen with that, but the tariffs are so much money that they're talking about giving some of it back. So keep your fingers crossed on that.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was listening to a press conference that somebody was asking Trump questions. And so the other day he was asked that question and he says, yeah, we're maybe trying. And so it's good to see that there's a bill bouncing around.
Right. We don't know if it's going to happen, but we certainly keep you abreast. And the Bills are winning right now, right?
Yeah,
They just went up by one.
Yay for the Bills.
I just went woohoo,
okay,
and that was why.
I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady. 8030930 if you're somebody that's not listening to the Bills game. 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930. We certainly want to help you. And so what our focus is for the rest of the show is going to be all of the big, beautiful bill tax cuts. And there are things that you can do, if you do them, that will reduce your tax liability over and above what's going to happen automatically. And it would seem to me that you would want to do that.
Yep,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. If you're lounging in your pool, listening to the radio, switching back and forth between the Bills and us, we got some good things to tell you. All right, so the first thing is no tax on tips, and we were talking about that last week. There is tax on tips if the amount of tips you receive is over $25,000 and your income is over $150,000 if you're single, or $300,000 filing a joint return. So the first $25,000 in tips you receive, if you're under that income threshold, will be tax-free. How does that make you feel?
Wow.
I mean, because you think about that. If you made $25,000 and you're in the 20% bracket, it would cost you $5,000 in taxes.
Yeah,
Right?
Wow. I mean, there's some people, you have a friend that I know that should go get a second job as a waitress. You know? I mean,
Right, absolutely.
I mean, why? I have a stepsister, a sister who should go get a job as a waitress. Maybe. I mean, there's moves you can make.
You know,
Well,
and we
and-
don't know what New York State's going to do yet either following this change. Are they going to follow suit, or are they going to say, no, you owe us on every dime?
Yep. They
Yep.
could divorce from what the federal has to say.
So if you are a single taxpayer and you had $20,000 in tips and your income is under $75,000, you're going to save over $1,000 in taxes this year just on that. Now, if I were in that situation and I was driving a car and I had a car loan and it was a U.S. assembled car, what might I do to increase that?
Refinance.
Right, if you refinance that car, the interest that you pay on car loans in 2025, even if it's refinanced up to 10,000, is a deduction, even if you don't itemize.
That's right.
Right.
So that's another thing you might want to do.
Yeah.
right?
You want to talk about more on the other side of the break?
Yeah, I'm going to take a break. We'll be back on the other side with your comments, questions, and texts. Hey, to us, you are family. I know you're floating around in your pool. You're at the beach. You're enjoying the weather, probably inside with air conditioning. And you're listening to the Bills game. But we're giving good information here. And I'm joined in studio with Chris Fabian, Tiffany Fabian, and we have a text.
Yep. The text says, Esther, you said unemployment rate for employers is 9.9. That's the highest rate. The lowest is 2.1%.
That's true. That's the trouble when you do a number show. I was just talking the maximum unemployment is the $800, and so there the maximum rate would apply to that, the 9.9. But yes, 2.1 is the lowest.
And so I think that somehow sort of encourages employers to keep staff on and to try to not keep, to not lay off and not fire. And then also, I know there was somebody I know and they were trying to get unemployment and the employer tried to fight it. And so these are all reasons. What were you going to say, Chris?
I was going to say, because they may raise the highest rate, we'll say even if it goes up to 10.9%, right? Well, on 10,000 of the first $13,000 of wages, right? Well, you figure, keep it simple, if we'll pick on us, right? If we had 100 people, that's an extra, because we pay the most, that's an extra $100 a person. Times that by 100, that means that's going to cost an employer an extra $10,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
Right.
I mean, and people wonder why prices go up, or people.
And you certainly, I know ourselves, we feel terrible if we have to raise prices.
Yeah.
But with the increase in the minimum wage and everything else, there's nothing that you can do.
Right,
if you want to
right.
stay in business. Right.
Yep.
Okay. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on the cell phone. Text us at 716-8030930. Even if you're on your little rubber ducky, you can still text us. Chris, explain the increased SALT deduction, why that's a benefit to New Yorkers.
Sure. So SALT, state and local taxes, that's a section of your itemized deductions. That was capped at $10,000. So between your property taxes and your state taxes paid, you are limited to $10,000. So if your state withholdings were $7,000 and your property taxes were $9,000, that totals $16,000. But the IRS would
there's
say,
a call coming in.
the IRS said, no, we're going to stop it at 10. So you are limited. And then, so now they're raising it to $40,000. Okay, so that means you would be able to use that whole $16,000 as a write-off.
That you couldn't before.
That you couldn't. So that extra $6,000, people are going, well, that's not a lot, but $6,000 at 22%, that's an extra $1,200 in your pocket.
Right, that you don't pay, that
Right.
they give you back as a refund.
Exactly.
So that's another benefit, is the increased SALT deduction. Now, to New York State's benefit, they never capped it.
No.
Even though the federal capped it, New York State did not.
Correct.
So that is not a change on New York State. It is a change on the federal, though,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Which would mean that, you want to get more bang for your buck, you're going to be able to itemize this year. You might want to double pay some taxes, for instance. Pay your January taxes in December,
Right.
property taxes. All right, and the other thing is the deductible, I mentioned it before, deductible car loan interest up to $10,000. That's a really cool deduction, and you don't have to itemize.
Right.
And you can refinance.
Yep, that's going to be an adjustment to income. So like where you take the section where you put your IRA your contribution. Sorry, I almost said the
Schedule
wrong word.
1.
You're on your Schedule 1,
Schedule
page
1.
2. So yeah, You don't itemize, and you get that write-off.
Which is so cool. There's people who have car dealerships. I think they should be, I know you guys are talking about refinancing, but they should be talking about buying U.S. manufactured cars,
Oh, speaking of which, while we're on cars, if you are interested in an electric vehicle and want the $7,500 credit, you better buy it by September 30th.
Yep, you have about a
Because
little
that's
over a month
going
and a half.
Right, that's going to expire. And the other thing is, if you wanted to put in new doors, windows, furnace, hot water tank,
The end of the
insulation,
year.
and you wanted to take advantage of the energy credit on the federal return, that's going out December 31st. So,
Correct.
we have school coming up pretty soon here, and we certainly have winter, which you can't hard to believe, but we have winter. Now's the time to do that so you can take advantage of those credits. Because if you see us in January and you say, I think I'm going to put in new doors next year. Well, that's very nice. It's not going to be deductible.
Yep.
So if you want that credit, you got to do it before December 31st. I think we have a text, right, Tim?
We do. How does the Medicaid work requirement? So now you have to work if you're on Medicaid, if you're able-bodied. They didn't add that. I just added that. Affects self-employed people.
Well, I mean, first of all, the Medicaid requirement where they're going to require you to work is not going to kick in for about a year and a half. So that's number one.
What is it, 80 hours a month?
80 hours a month.
Right.
So if you're self-employed and you're working over 80 hours a month, you should have no problem.
Right.
So you'll probably have to keep track of your hours. Mm-hmm. And I could see.
And it doesn't have to be wages. It's an interesting thing when you really read the law. You can be a volunteer or looking for work.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
great.
But I could see, now think of this, where a self-employed person could get snagged because what do a lot of self-employed people do?
They write off.
They don't report all their income,
Oh, yeah.
right? Well, if they're reporting that they're working 120 to 160 hours a week and their gross sales are only $20,000, there's going to be something wrong with that.
But again, the law says you have to be looking for work. You could volunteer.
Right. Correct.
So it doesn't look like they're going to be dogmatic
No.
there. And
Yeah.
again, we don't know what's going to happen because it's like a year and a half, 2 years before anything really comes down the pike. But interestingly enough, we were talking this week with taxpayers who are on the essential plan, and that is going to be in effect in January, right?
Yep.
That's a negative thing.
And I'm glad that they've softened it because we need volunteers and we need, so what a great opportunity, It's really good information.
Okay.
I was echoing what you said.
No, I understand but what I'm saying is in January, people that have been getting subsidies are going to lose the subsidies
Possibly.
because, many subsidies.
You don't know.
Because
We don't know
Obama-
yet. But New York State of Health doesn't even know yet.
Right.
So
but it looks. I mean, the one thing put out by the governor said that it doesn't. It looks
if
very
you want to
bleak.
believe everything she says, that's
Well,
up to
I know,
you.
but I'm just saying, I'm trying to keep people so that they start making phone calls and inquiring because they're saying that if you don't nail down your health insurance by November for January, you may have a real problem in January. So it is true. Many things that we're telling you are up in the air, because nobody knows exactly how this is all going to flesh out. But the thing is, if you're aware, that's what's so important, that you
Knowledge.
should keep your ear to the ground. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
All
Absolutely.
right. And we got Kev hanging. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Esther, good day to you. Welcome back from your French villas and the French Riviera.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Fabian and Mr. and Mrs. Fabian, how are you doing?
Hi. We had such a great time.
The French Riviera. Yeah.
No, we went
Yeah.
to Chicago.
Villas out there.
We went to
Little
Chicago.
Italy in
It is
Chicago.
not really a French Riviera in Chicago, but we had a nice time.
That's
It's
good.
not
Well, that's-
cheap, I'll
that's
tell
rare.
you.
I'm just kidding you. You know that.
Thank
Hey,
you.
I'll try to make it quick. My 3 questions I'm going to roll out here for you, okay? One, when you say if you don't itemize, is that like my company, they pay me a standard, I don't know if you call it a stipend or whatever, because of being a new vehicle, they pay me that, and then they pay me for mileage. Is that itemizing if you're getting paid for mileage?
Are you self-employed, Kevin, or are you on a
No,
W-2?
no. Well, but I use it for, my
Right, but you're on a W-2, right?
But right, on a W-2 for my
Okay,
regular
well,
job, yeah.
mileage is no longer a deduction if you're on a W-2. But when we're talking about the interest on a car loan, that's
Mm-hmm.
over and above the standard deduction that they're going to give you without question. Okay, so this is a
It doesn't
brand
have to
new
be a
deduction.
U.S. manufactured car?
U.S. assembled car.
Yeah, it's assembled. Yeah, it's assembled in the U.S. Absolutely, yeah.
So you would be able to subtract from your income the amount of interest that you're paying up to $10,000.
Oh, yeah. No.
So-
Hey, next question on that.
Yes.
So great. And speaking about the refinance, as you mentioned there, because it's the monkey on my back, like everybody, I guess, student loans and stuff. But tell me something though. So if I'm looking to refinance through a credit union, I'm done with the banks, man. I mean,
Right,
these guys
right.
are killers. So do I get anything if I refinance?
You get the interest that you start paying on your car loan. Yes.
Oh man.
So it has to be a 2025 car loan moving forward. And, Kevin, and
2025.
I'm
No,
kind of
it's
being pressed
2025.
here for the news. You want to hang on till after the news?
Yeah, I could do that. Thank
All right.
you so much.
All right, good. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. We'll talk to Kevin on the other side. Hey, to us, you are family. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. I know that you're floating around the pool, you're doing landscaping, grilling. It's like, can it get any better than this, really? But we got Kevin on the phone from Pendleton. Kevin, what other questions did you have?
Okay, thank you so much, Esther. So I have my Joe Biden moment. So bear with me. Quickly, just tell me again. I'm gonna get, because it's a 2025. It's not a totally American car. It's assembled here. It's a Subaru 2025. All I had was 8 Minji miles on it, so it's new. So you're gonna get on your tax when I file next year. I'm gonna get. You said what?
All the interest that you're paying on your loan. So
All
let's
interest,
say you're
okay.
paying $800 a month in car payments, and let's say $400 a month of it is interest. So that's $4,800. You'd get a $4,800 deduction next year. And so if you were in the
Chris
20%
said he-
bracket, you save $9,000 in
Chris
tax.
said he would have to refinance.
Oh, great. Yeah, because I'm looking to refinance with a credit union. I'm done with the banks, man. I mean, they like vampires. They're like vampires. So I'm going to refinance.
But understand, Kevin, you don't have to itemize. You get this as a deduction over and above your itemized deduction.
Woohoo.
Okay, great. Yeah, so that's what that is. Okay, great. Hey, Esther and folks, thanks again.
All right, Kevin, I bet you feel like you're back in the islands.
Oh my
with
God,
this
it's so
weather.
warm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. All right, thanks, Kevin. I'm
Bye,
Esther
Kev.
Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on the cell phone. Right?
Yeah.
Tiff, were you in the middle of saying something?
Oh, Chris.
I was going to say, we just talked about the car that's going to start this year. What's another adjustment to income that's going to go into place for 2026?
Charity,
Charity.
which is remarkable. So the first $1,000 that you give to charity, if you're single, $2,000 if you're filing a joint return, is going to be again over and above itemized deductions.
Yay. Oh, yay.
But I mean but if you give more than that, you can take it as an itemized deduction, right?
Right. Yep. So 1,000 single, 2,000
Okay,
joint.
let's talk about the senior deduction, Chris. You want to tip whoever wants to?
Sure. Well, right now,
They get an extra.
under old tax law, A single person who's over 65 would get an extra $1,900 roughly added to their standard deduction. If you were married, each person over 65 would get an extra $1,500.
Each one.
Yeah.
And now they get an extra 6,000. They get an extra 6,000, which is so
they're not
exciting.
they're not really getting an extra 6,000. They're getting 6,000.
Right, they're not getting the 1,900 too. They're
Right.
getting 6,000.
So they're really not getting as much as they think, and they lose the 6,000 if their income's over 75,000 and they're single, and 150,000 if they're filing a joint return.
right.
So think about that.
Whereas before they weren't.
They'd have that extra bump.
They'd have that $1,900 without worrying about it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, with that extra deduction, that extra, well, it's not extra, but it's more like on a joint return, it's more like $9,000 extra you get. So maybe you think, well, maybe this is a good time to do a conversion from my traditional to a Roth. You got to really be careful, because you might end up paying 85% on your Social Security, because when they say that Social Security is tax-free, it isn't.
No. And
Yeah,
so
we still get a lot. Sorry, Tiff.
Oh, I was just going to say, so they were discussing the big, beautiful benefit for the seniors. And so like Esther
There
said,
is not a
you really
big,
got to
beautiful benefit
think
for
about it
seniors.
and call us.
Really, really a sad thing. And then seniors have to watch out for IRMA.
Right. If you're
So let's talk about that, because when you think about it, if a senior couple filing a joint return make, let's say, $200,000, $250,000, they end up paying an extra $3,600 a piece, or $7,200 in extra Medicare Part A and Part B and D, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's an extra tax.
Right.
So you have to be really careful about extra money that you're putting on your tax return, especially when you're tempted to roll over the money from a traditional to a Roth.
That's right. Those other consequences, absolutely. And so you really want, and then you got to be careful about all the other benefits, not only IRMA, but then
well, you got to worry about the senior star. You know,
Right.
your Epic.
Because it isn't just income taxes. It's all the things that are tied to your tax return.
right.
Your Medicare, your property taxes, all these star deductions, they're all tied to your tax return. So you have to be really careful. And that's why we tell people, before you do it, please call us.
That's
We
right.
would love to talk to you.
No cost, no charge.
Right.
There was somebody I talked to the other day, and she said she was from Ohio, and she said that her uncle listens to our show every week, and he says, you got to call Tiffany, which was so sweet. And her question was about taking money out of a 401k, and she's under the age of 59 and a half. And so I ran all the numbers. I actually did a mock tax return for her because they wanted to know what the tax consequences would be. And so it doesn't matter where you live, we've got the answer.
Right. You can be down in Tennessee,
Yes.
Atlanta, Florida. We're good. All right. And now, another thing that nobody has to do anything with is if you have children under the age of 17, the child tax credit, which saves you absolutely money, moved from $2,000 to $2,200. So you're going to get an extra benefit, $200 extra in your pocket for each child that is under the age of 17.
Right. But the additional child tax credit, that means if you used up all your child tax credit as the Pac-Man credit, the government gives it back to you, changes it to the additional child tax credit, but that's staying at $1,400 a child.
Right.
That didn't
Right.
go up.
Right.
So
Then let's move on to overtime. And overtime, this is a big thing for families, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
The overtime deduction, it's not a credit, is $1,250 if you have income under $150,000 and you're single, or $300,000 and you're filing a joint return. So think about it. If you were if you made $12,000 working overtime, you really don't pay tax on it.
Yep. And it has to be somebody who traditionally was receiving
It has to be in a business that paid.
overtime. You can't
Traditionally
jerry
tips.
rig it. Or,
No, you're talking about tips. You're talking about
no,
tips.
No,
also
also
unemployment.
well, you're
Also overtime.
You can't go from
can't
a
jerry-rig
salary
it.
job down to an
Oh, yeah.
hourly
You
job for
can't
the same
Jerry
position.
rig it.
Right.
Yes.
Although it makes it tempting, right?
Yes. You want to read one of these texts?
Please.
Okay. Gang, does the EV tax credit that is expiring in September 2025 also apply to EV vehicles purchased within the same time frame, or
Pre-owned.
or do the car loan interest only for new car loans? I think this is two
Right,
questions.
but this says pre-owned.
Okay, so there's two questions there, right? Does the electronic vehicle tax credit that's expiring in September 2025 also apply to electric vehicles that are pre-owned?
What I believe, and again, this is relatively new in the they just changed the tax law thing. I believe that what they're going to do is whatever it was stays in effect for the pre-owned and everything, and the other EV credit as if there were no change in the tax law, and they're giving you till September the 30th to fulfill that. To keep it the same.
And I thought it had
so
to be a
my
brand new-
assumption
had to be a
is
brand
gonna
new car.
It's gonna keep it for the pre-owned as well as
Right,
the
but the
new
pre-owned the cost has to be less than $25,000.
Right, there's all the stipulations there, but the thing is, I believe that through September 30th, they're going to keep the old law in effect, but then it gets killed September 30th.
Correct.
Okay, I mean that's my belief. I could be wrong, but I believe that's the way it's going to be. What was the other thing?
There's a phone call and there's a text. The text is the deduction for someone over 65 is that deduction, that extra $6,500 for somebody over the age of 65 and is single, $23,750. So
Well, they're over the age of 64,
right.
not over 65. It's over the age of 64
Okay.
that they get the extra 6,000, provided their income isn't over the threshold. But on the EV credit, didn't they ask about the car loan interest as well? Or do the car loan interest only for new car loans? No, it can be for the car loan. So on the EV credit, it expires on the 30th of September, but the car loan interest, as long as it's an American assembled vehicle and the car loan is in 2025, the interest up to $10,000 would be over and above the EV credit.
Yeah,
if that's what you're saying.
I'm sorry, that was two questions. It was so confusing. So thank you for catching that.
That's all right. I just saw it was
Good job.
And
because I think it's important. This is such a simple thing to do, to move your car loan from when it wasn't deductible to when it is deductible, but you have to do something.
Right. And the standard deduction for someone over 64, so 65 and older, will be, if you meet the income qualifications, will be $21,750. It's 50
Each
for a single person.
for a single
yeah,
person.
Yeah.
Right. And it would be twice as much on a married couple,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. How are the bills doing?
We're up by a point, 25 to
Okay.
24.
All right. Who are we playing?
The Giants.
Okay. I'm Esther Golias, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back on the other side.
The bills make me wanna kick your heels up and throw your hands up and throw your
It's that time of year again.
Esther's
I
time to go
love the
hide in the
Bills.
closet.
Back in the closet for me. I mean, these are preseason games, so I'm okay. But when it really happens, it's just terrible.
I just want to tell Chris, I said our newsletter, I said 6,500 for seniors. It's really 6,000. I just told Chris I should bring a copy of the newsletter that has this all spelled out, because it's like you said, numbers. And so if
Well,
anybody
it's
wants a
it's
copy
just
of the
a
newsletter,
nuance.
just
You know,
call
it's so
us.
easy to say if you're over 65,
Uh-huh.
but it's really if you're over 64,
Right.
right?
Correct.
Yep.
I wanted to point this out, though. The overtime deduction to 12.5. Think about this: if you were in the 20% bracket, you are going to save $2,500 in taxes on the federal alone. But if you were a couple, you're only going to save $2,500 as well. What if you were two singles living together?
You'd get the
Each
20
one
yeah,
would save
each one.
25. Isn't that a terrible thing?
It's a
that,
terrible
that,
thing.
That you're being penalized for being married.
It's a horrible thing. Wrong.
Yep.
Wrong.
Yep. Anyway, yeah. So two singles living together, each one could have 12.5, and they would save, if they're in the 20% bracket, $2,500 apiece. They get married, they only save the $1,2,500. I think
Yep.
it's terrible. We have a couple of calls here, right?
Yep. We'll go to Donna.
Hey, Donna.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. I have a question about the overtime.
Yeah.
I am a salaried employee Monday through Friday, and it is in my contract, salaried employee Monday through Friday. On a Wednesday evening, it is in my contract that I do overtime. Now, he doesn't pay me time and a half, but it's still, we agreed upon in a certain amount. And I do that every once a week for the 4 weeks of every month. Now, is that going to be tax exempt? When I called your office, they said as long as they have it as listed as overtime on your W-2, that I should be able to get the tax deduction for that overtime. Is that correct?
I'm just going to tell you the truth. Nobody's written the code yet.
Okay.
And so what we understand is if it is considered overtime and it's not in your salary package, it should be good. But please don't hate me if we find out that it isn't. I mean, right now it seems like it should be if it's in your contract and that's what it says, and part of your salary package includes that overtime. I'm assuming, but until they get the code written, I don't know.
So will that be done by tax season?
Oh,
when
yeah.
we-
But it's so sad, like right now, when you call, like for the state of New York, about what they're going to do with the health insurance, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Right.
You know. So
I was-
I'm just doing an educated guess based upon what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
And
But
yes,
on my-
by tax time, somebody's got to write these tax programs.
Okay. Because on my W-2, they put it down as bonus. And when I talked to the girl in the office, she said, no, they have to change that heading and
They
make
do.
it say
Well,
bonus.
that's great. Well, that would be great. That would be great.
Yeah. Okay,
So
beautiful.
let's hope. And it's meant to be, it's a sad thing. The devil's in the details. And so right now we're just giving you the big shot. We won't know until the details come out. But hopefully if it's been earmarked as overtime and it's part of your salary compensation, I would think that it's going to qualify. Let's hope.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. All right, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady. What else? We have another call here,
We
right?
got CJ.
Hey, CJ, how can we help you?
Hello. I'm over 65, and my pension gross is $130,000.
Well, good for
Okay.
you.
I do not get Social Security because I was a federal employee. And I used to save all my charitable donation receipts, but it did make a difference the last few years with the standard deduction.
But it will in 2026.
Would I still be eligible for charitable donations, and should I save my receipts?
Okay, so in 2025, the $1,000. Are you single or married?
Single.
All right, the $1,000 increased standard deduction will not be in effect, but in 2026 it will. So save your receipts in 2026. Now, do you own your own home?
Yes.
So let's talk about that. Did you have large medical bills last year?
No.
Your property taxes are how much?
Oh, probably north of 5,000.
Do you have a mortgage?
No.
What are your charitable deductions, approximately?
Oh, well, it used to be maybe 2,000.
Okay, all right. So, and no, and
But I
there's
have-
no other. You have no. You have no property taxes. I mean, no New York State taxes. Is it a New York State pension?
Federal government.
Federal government, so it's tax-free.
Federal.
So
I do
basically, it won't make any difference until next year when you get the ability to take the extra $1,000 as an adjustment to income. But in 2025, it won't make any difference.
Okay, well,
Okay.
I'll still save all my receipts.
Well, add a
There
girl.
you go.
By the way, so you said you're 64 or older, right? Are you taking money out of your pension plan, out of your IRA?
No, not yet.
Okay, but when you do, what you might want to do is a QCD, because that would make it tax-free. Right, Chris?
Yep. When you hit 70, you can do a QCD, a qualified charitable distribution. So right now your charity's not really helping you, this would bring down your taxable income because of the IRA distribution.
Right. So a qualified charitable deduction would work better for you than taking that standard deduction.
Well, when I do have to take my RMD, that in the next few years, that's going into my long-term life insurance policy for nursing home care.
Okay, but still, and that nursing home deduction is also something you want to look at, but still, the QCD would make it completely tax-free. If you said $2,000, so let's say your RMD is the $2,000, it would be completely tax-free. Something to think about.
Okay, thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you, dear. I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady from EG Tax. We have other calls here, right?
Yep. We got Don from Cheektowaga.
Hey, Don.
Hello, how you doing today?
Good.
I got a question. I'm over 64. Was kind of confused about the senior deduction that's under this new bill.
Yep.
What's the limit on the income that you make?
Are you married or single?
Married,
Okay.
both retired, collecting Social Security.
Okay. Chris, Tiff, you want to
So do you just get Social Security?
I also get a military retirement check.
Okay. And so again,
Is it a VA pension?
No, it's regular military. I put 21 years in.
Okay.
so
I get a
your
regular-
standard deduction is around
But he
30
wants to know what it's
I know
capped at.
32,000, and then you're going to get the extra 6, so you guys are going to be around
could be an extra
38,
12
39.
if his
And
wife's over
then
65.
with your wife, is she over the age of 65?
Yes, she is.
So that puts you guys at around 44,
And
45,000.
Your
a
income's
year
not going to be over
standard.
150,000, is it?
No, it's not.
So,
Then you'll be good.
So again, you get to subtract around $45,000. How much is your pension a year?
It's about 23,000.
Oh, you're going to be great. So if you have money in IRAs, you got some free room to not pay tax. So if you got any money to withdraw, you got any stock sales?
That's what I was just going to ask you. We took the money out before this got approved to pay off some of our bills, and I was just wondering if that's going to help me.
Well, how much did you take out, Don?
It was like 15,000. It wasn't
Okay,
much.
so you're still under the 150,000. So you're still going to be able to get the extra $12,000.
So you're still in the
good,
clear.
'cause that-
So you're in good shape.
25,
So I don't
35,
have to
40.
I really don't have to save for it because I didn't take no taxes out when I took the money out.
No.
You know, the guy was trying to say I should have took tax, to pay for it. I told him I'll wait for the end of the year to do it.
But you're
I should be
okay.
in good shape.
You're in good shape.
Yeah.
Smart man.
I thank you very much. I appreciate all your help.
Okay.
All right, thanks,
I
Don.
was listening to you.
And blessings
Thank
to
you for your
you.
service.
Appreciate it.
Amen.
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so
There's
we're
two
good. No more
texts.
text right here?
There's two texts.
All right.
So this one I don't understand. Will this also include prevailing wages? We're just going to skip that for a second. Is the $6,000 federal tax deduction for those over 64 receiving Social Security prorated if I begin to receive Social Security late in 2025? I plan to retire 2025. Maybe I should start Social Security late this year because of that. Does this make
No.
sense?
The 6,000 is just for people over 64, okay, that have income over under the 150,000 if you're filing a joint return, 75,000 if you're single. Period. That's going to be across you're going to get that this year. So it has nothing. I know it may. When Trump was talking, he said, "And Social Security is tax free." Well, it's not.
He talks in very broad strokes.
Boy, that's for sure. So I mean, no, this really has nothing to do with Social Security. They just gave an extra standard deduction for seniors over 64. So your Social Security is going to be taxable, no matter possibly taxable, no matter what it is. But you're going to get this extra deduction. So that'll be good. Okay.
Good
You have
question.
anything else? Quick.
Did you understand that other thing about prevailing?
Prevailing wage is what you might make as a job site. That is in New York State requires, even if you only make $15 an hour, if the prevailing wage is $60, that's what you make for that hour. It's very popular in construction.
Oh, I missed part of the text.
All right. So what
No,
they're
that just
talking
came
about
in.
is the overtime.
No.
But
No, this is. I just had somebody in my office who does utilities, and if the union job pays $90 an hour and you're working for a non-union company, they have to pay you for the same job the $90 an hour.
Oh, he was
okay, but
educating me on what prevailing
But we're
wage
not
is.
talking about overtime or anything.
No, that's not overtime.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Now, next week, we're going to talk about
Very
some
good.
business things, and we're going to continue to keep you abreast on the big, beautiful bill so that you know what to do. But here's the thing. Come see us. There's no charge. We want to help you. And sign up for that seminar. You would just be smarter than the average person, I will tell you. Go to our website at egtax.com. Stay cool this week if you can. And go Bills, and thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.